Radio Raheem here with Kieth, one-time Thurman. One more time, we got to talk about it, man. You know, you're back at the MGM Grand. You had a show on here last time that was a challenge for you. You came out victorious. You got the win like you needed to do. But tell me about how that fight and that experience is going to help you in the ring on Saturday night.
There was no challenge, baby. We won every single round for 12 rounds, man. It's funny how people think it's a challenge if I don't knock people out. That's the challenge, you know, because apparently I'm supposed to knock everybody out, which I know I want to do, but when I realize it's harder to do than I really would like to do, like if you showed up for work one day and your boss gave you extra work, do you really want to do it? So, you know, I have a choice. Do you go put in that extra work, or do you simply win the fight? Last time we simply won the fight and we won it easily, man. Like you said, we're back here at the MGM Grand, and it's beautiful, man. This time with PBC on NBC, man, it's going to be spectacular, man. I got a whole bunch of friends and family that are going to be tuning into this fight for the first time. They've never seen me fight because they didn't have HBO. They didn't have Showtime. They always would have to read about it or catch highlights on YouTube or whatnot, but now they're all going to be tuning in, and it's a great fight come Saturday night, me and Robert the Ghost Guerrero.
You are no doubt a rising star, a fan favorite for those who have been following boxing. Being on a platform like NBC, like you said, you'll be introduced to so many new fans, new viewers. What are they going to find out about Kieth Thurman? What is it that you want? How do you want to introduce yourself to the new fans in boxing on NBC?
Well, you know, I do plan on showing the world that I am Kieth one-time Thurman, and there's a reason why they call me one-time, and it's because of the punching power. So we plan on hurting Robert Ghost Guerrero come Saturday night. Outside of that, I also want to show that I'm a world-class fighter, that I have skills, that I have the ability. So I'm gonna bang. I'm gonna sit there and punch a little bit, then I'm gonna move and I'm gonna box. I'm gonna show my defense, my offense, man. We're just bringing in every single tool, man, and do what it takes to get that victory Saturday night.
When you think about Kieth Thurman, you think about knockouts. You think about somebody who's coming to get it. Well, when you think about Robert Guerrero, you think about a rough and tumble fighter, a guy who likes to be inside and be gritty. How will your style benefit you? And I think maybe you would agree that Robert Guerrero would be your first biggest challenge in your career. Talk to me about how you approach this fight. Is it any different than you've approached your last fights?
To call him the biggest challenge, you'd have to talk to me after the fight. So we'll see how much of a challenge he is Saturday night. I know that he is one of the most highly ranked fighters that I've come across so far, and we are truly looking forward to that. But, you know, his style being gritty, I believe that he's going to be there for the big punch. That's why I'm predicting a knockout. That's why I'm desiring the knockout, and I want to get a knockout Saturday night for the fans, for the network, and for myself.
What's going to separate you, man? Like, you know, all the fighters that were up on the stage today, everybody wants to be the one who steals the show. Well, you're in the main event, so the show is really on your back. How is it that you're going to separate yourself from the other great fighters up there and prove that you're the main event fighter on this card?
You know, hopefully by dishing out a whole lot of pain to Robert Guerrero. You know, that's what I want to do. Show big punches, you know, speed, athleticism, and you know, just put on a great performance. You know, we are all performers, and this card is stacked. You know, who knows who's really going to steal the show? They really should have thrown in a KO bonus to make it real interesting. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the night, man, you know, I'm just going to be Kieth one-time Thurman, and that should be enough.
You coined this year your year for Mayweather. You know, obviously the Pacquiao fight happened. It took some precedence, but is that a fight that you feel like you can still get before he retires? How hard are you fighting to get in that Mayweather, you know, in that ring with him before it's all over with?
Well, this fight right here is going to determine how much clout we have to get that fight. You know, Floyd fought Robert the Ghost Guerrero in the same arena at the MGM Grand and took him to a 12-round decision. So if we do a spectacular KO, TKO performance, you know, hopefully the fans demand it, and hopefully he realizes that I am a true challenger, true prospect, and that I'm worthy. You know, I'm one of the best welterweights in the world. Regardless, I'm a world champion. I'm undefeated, and I think it's a great fight. At the end of the day, everybody knows that Floyd is very strategical in picking his opponents. I know there's no rematch clause, but that doesn't mean that a rematch won't occur. Outside of that, Is he going to retire at the end of this year, or will there be more to come in 2016? So we don't know. At the end of the day, I'm doing my best to climb up in the ranks of the welterweight division and show that I am some of the best talent in the world at 147 pounds.
And lastly, Kieth, give me your prediction for the biggest fight in boxing history. Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather. Who you got?
I got Floyd. I got Floyd running circles around Manny, pop shotting him all night, sticking him with a jab to the solar plex, right hand over top, right hook over top, check hook, jab up top, you know. But like I said, they're all going to be pop shots. I don't see much combinations, maybe 2 punches at the most. I expect Floyd to be moving and then holding, grabbing and holding, pushing, shoving, doing all these little things that we know Floyd to do that not everyone really talks about, but that's part of his style, and that's one thing that makes him so difficult besides his speed and his reflexes. Manny Pacquiao, though, I do expect him to catch Floyd whenever Floyd is on the ropes, because Manny throws punches from awkward angles and he tends to feint, and I think that if he feints enough, it can work in his favor. Floyd is very patient, and sometimes he can be a little too patient. Marcos Maidana got a few big shots in. I don't see how Manny Pacquiao won't. The question is, will Manny Pacquiao be able to hurt Floyd Money Mayweather May 2nd? I'm going to be there to watch.
You know, Kieth, thank you for the interview. You are always gracious with your time, wonderful with your answers. Radio Raheem with one time, Kieth Thurman.